Under You. Well, actually, the whole album. It reminds me of it's the best album they've made since
Sonic Highways.
No, I love Sonic Highways, but to me, Sonic Highways is not as good as Wasting Light.
Yeah.
Wasting Light for me was their pinnacle.
Yeah.
This one is not quite as good as Wasting Light, but it's Wasting Light and then this one for me.
Yeah.
And Taylor Hawkins, of course, the whole thing is written about him. And Under You has a line in it where he says, "Writing songs and smoking cigarettes is how I'll remember you." And I'm choking up again.
Yeah.
Okay, every single time he sings it, I get emotional, and every time I talk about it, I almost cry because I can tell as he writes it, he's thinking about a certain picture, and I don't know what the picture is, right? Because it's personal to him.
Yep.
But he's thinking of, because he talks about all the time how they're best friends.
Yep.
And like, if you've ever lost a friend, like I don't know if you ever had like a really close friend die, but I've had one or two really close friends die. And there's a picture or two of me and those friends.
Yep.
And I'll have, there's a really close friend of mine from the submarine who's dead now. And there's a picture of us on the pier, sitting on the pier, and we've each got a cigarette, and as we're sitting on the pier, and I picture that.
It's a great parallel.
Whenever I think of him, I see that picture in my head.
Yeah.
And so I think of Dave sitting there thinking of his dead friend, and it's like, holy shit, like I can put myself in his shoes.
Sure.
And if I were writing a song, I could see myself writing like me, like that's how I'll picture you. Oh my God. And it brings me like to tears.
Yeah.
And so it's such an emotional song for me.
Yep.
And so I was going to bring that song.
Yep.
And then that was going to be the one that's like mainstream.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I said one mainstream and one not mainstream. And then the not mainstream would have been some Zebrahead song. Take your pick.
Sure.
So Zebrahead, have you ever really listened to them?
Yeah, you showed me Zebrahead.
I love them.
They're all over the place musically.
They are. But
they're like Muse.
They're of course rap rock.
Yeah.
And
I don't have a problem with that.
I love them. I'll never stop loving them. Every single thing they do is amazing. They're on their third vocalist now because they never hit as big as they're supposed to. Every single album they release is kind of amazing, and every single one kind of flops. And so, they're on like album 11 now.
Right. And yet, I had never heard of them until you showed me.
Every single one, by the way, is a huge hit in Japan. They're enormous in Japan.
Right.
And so they get these huge tours and lots of adoration in Japan, but they just can't hit here. And so, they just can't do it. So anyway, I was going to take your pick from any number of albums there.
And it is rough that we can't, because right there, that was a great snippet of footage right there. We could have just used for the channel.
Oh, I'm playing it. I'm going to use it.
Okay.
I'm actually using some part of this.
Okay.
At least the Foo Fighters stuff is going in.